Steven Rinella and his friend Ryan start this clip by going down a narrow river to hunt for moose. As they navigate through the dense bushes and trees, Steven hears a sound and decides to track it with his friend following behind him. After successfully locating his prey, he shoots it, and the moose goes down instantly, which gives them the chance to go and secure the kill. Now face to face with the seemingly injured animal laying down, he goes in for the final shot, only for something unexpected to happen.
Why am I gonna go up? And this bull stands up and spins. Holy shit. And the bull like just comes like a cartoon, head down, pop myself. And I fall down and I get up and kind of scurry out of there and go around.
Luckily for Steve, one of his friends quickly shot the moose down before things got out of hand. Here, a group of terrified hunters can be seen running for their lives, while the thick, snowy terrain makes their attempt at running harder. After the camera turns around, the reason for their panic becomes clear as a small group of boars comes charging towards them.
Fuck!
The boars are able to outrun the men in the snow due to their short frame and powerful hind muscles. One of the charging animals hits one of the men, and just as they thought that it was over, they see this terrifying sight. More boars emerge from the horizon, shocking them at first, but the men remain calm and stand their ground while shouting loud noises. The video cuts short, so it's unclear what happened next. This next terrorizing video shows a man recording a large moose shedding its antlers as he observes it from afar. With curiosity getting the best of him, he walks closer to the animal to get a better view. Moments later, while getting it on tape up close, the large moose finally has enough and decides to do this. Things become chaotic and shaky as we hear the hunter scream and try to scare away the moose with loud vocalizations. The clip cuts with the man recording himself, showing he was unharmed by the attack. Filmed in Kruger National Park, this group of armed tourists are seen walking around trying to get a closer look at a lion they saw earlier. As the group gets closer, the predator gets understandably more angry, leaving it no choice but to show them how dangerous it can be. Lions are territorial and aggressive animals that will never think twice about defending their pride and their territory. The group immediately stops in their tracks and respects the predator's territory. The clip ends by showing us the lion walking away from the encounter. If you're a dog lover, this next clip might give you overwhelming levels of anxiety. At the start of the video, a hunter releases his 3 dogs and begins to record their movements as they start searching for nearby animals. In a matter of minutes, all 3 dogs are out of sight. When the owner catches up to them again, he is shocked by what he sees. Now seriously worrying for their safety, the hunter calls off his dogs, allowing the predator to take off running. But what happens next is not what he wanted.
Well, let's go, let's go. Come on, let's go.
The video unfortunately ends there, and what happened to those dogs afterwards remains a mystery. To start this encounter off, a hunter can be seen walking a forest trail when out of nowhere something comes out from the bushes.
Hey, bear. Hey, bear.
The two of them get into an intense stare-down, which only lasts a couple of seconds, but must have felt like hours.
Get out of here, bear. Get out of here, bear. Get out of here.
The bear ultimately decides to run and disappear into bushes, which worries the hunter, thinking it could strike at any moment. Despite what most media might say, bears are not the terrifying human hunters they are made out to be, but scared and mainly defensive animals. The threat of an attack eventually disappears, and the man is able to cross successfully. This shocking clip starts with a man recording a sleeping deer he came across during his hunt. He proceeds to approach the animal and tries to pet it by reaching his hand towards it slowly.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? You okay?
Surprisingly, he manages to get extremely close to the deer, which leads to this horrifying and disturbing clip. After the unexpected attack, he stumbles to stay standing while groaning in pain and eventually falls down on the grass. Judging from the video, he managed to survive the attack, despite being caught off guard. A bear can be seen in the distance, stalking a man as he stops from his hike in order to scare the bear away. He screams his heart out, hoping that the loud sounds will make the predator avoid him and run away.
А! Не нафиг! Я ж боюсь, блядь! Иди! Ты чё? У меня ножик китайский! Иди отсюда!
The encounter does not end quickly, though, with his every sentence being screamed with both bravery and fear.
Всё, поеду домой! Я подмогу позову! Ха! Ха! Да у меня топор с собой! Ты еще пару шагов, бля!
He keeps his eye on the predator, never letting it get the chance to sneak past him and give it a chance to attack. Despite fearing loud sounds and direct confrontation, some bears will often show no fear of anything during desperate times.
Ну я... Вы что так робели в тайге, что ли, бля? Ну иди нахер! Сейчас попаду камнем, бля, попаду, гад буду! Я великий камнеметатель, дядя Вова, блядь!
The bear eventually fades away in the distance, ending the encounter. Starting off intensely, the video opens by showing us a hunter shooting a wild boar being chased by his two hunting dogs. A few seconds later, he walks towards his kill in order to investigate it, only to end up as the prey this time. The man isn't injured by the encounter, as it ends with the boar running away. This blood-curdling video opens with a pair of deer hunters trying to drive to their destination, while a huge moose is seen running away from their truck.
Yeah, I sent him with the sucker.
I knew it was fresh.
Yeah.
After a few minutes chasing it down the road, the animal suddenly does something that they weren't expecting.
Now we've got an issue.
Yep.
I think I better start back. I can't back up that fast, can I?
Unfortunately, the clip ends abruptly, and we can only assume that their truck suffered quite some damage. While cutting up and preparing their fresh kill, two hunters get interrupted when they are suddenly forced to defend their food.
The adult grizzly is only 70 yards.
Bears are thought to have the best sense of smell of any animal in the wild, able to smell from 20 miles away. After seeing the bear, one of the hunters immediately takes his gun out and readies it.
From the brothers and getting closer.
This ain't good. Hey, Bear. Gun loaded. Is there bullets in it? Yeah, Bear.
The predator eventually sees the two men guarding the kill, leading to something unexpected happening.
Right at us.
The bear runs at the sight of the hunters, which is fortunate for both sides. This next terrifying animal encounter shows two hunters trying to get past a large and aggressive mother bear nursing her 3 cubs.
And all of a sudden, like, out of our side view comes, like, not just one bear, but 4 of them. It's a sow packing 3 little spring-born cubs.
The hunters quickly realize that they are in a lot of trouble after seeing the predator already in an aggressive and defensive mood. After a while, they see the animal approaching their area, so they try to scare it away by making loud noises.
You're barking at us?
Yeah. Take your kids and go. See her? Hey, Mom! She just came through this gap. She's coming this way.
Grizzly bears, who are already aggressive in nature, become a lot more aggressive when nursing. Still undeterred, and now more aggressive than ever, the bear barks and growls in the bushes before deciding to take matters into its own jaws.
Comes around a tree, we chamber around.
Hey, Mom! Hey!
Callahan shooting. She doesn't care at all.
Thankfully, after the first warning shot, the bear gets the message and runs away. In Wyoming, a group of men got a lot more than they bargained for while trying to reintroduce a mountain lion into the wild. Watch to see how things play out. After successfully capturing a mountain lion, a group of friends journey into the wild with the intention of returning the feline home. When the video starts, the mountain lion is bound on the ground, and the group of brave men who are armed with various tools are preparing to begin the release procedure.
Oh yeah, this is getting real.
Whoa! Docile, huh?
Oh no way.
Moments later, one of the men approaches the animal, but despite his good intentions, the predator does this.
Hey kitty, kitty, kitty. Now you. Oh, so sorry. Hey kitty, kitty. You got him. You got him.
Almost immediately, 2 other crew members step in. In no time, the release mission commences in full swing, and the animal is unbound.
He's choking him out. You got to do it fast, because he's gonna lose his. Good. Okay. Get the out.
When the mountain lion is finally free, it runs directly into the woods, while the rescue team members run off in the opposite direction. At the beginning of this frightening encounter, an enormous black bear can be seen following the scent of a man resting in a tree stand. After seeing the ladder leading to his scent, the man realizes the grave danger he is in when the predator decides to do this. As soon as the animal climbs a few steps, the hunter makes his presence known, which stops the bear from climbing further.
Hey, what are you doing there? What are you doing there?
It then goes down and runs away, leaving the hunter safe and unharmed. In this video, a man and his friend can be seen observing a large moose that they have suddenly crossed paths with. Even though the moose doesn't appear to be hostile, the man at the front doesn't take any risks and remains behind his thick tree. These unpredictable animals are very dangerous and capable of severely injuring or even killing a human if it wanted to. After a while, the moose begins to move forward, forcing the man to retreat a few steps back. But just as they thought everything was over, the large herbivore decides to show them how different cartoons are from real life. The clip ends abruptly, and no information can be found about the outcome. The clip begins with two hunters recording a herd of elephants they encountered walking peacefully through the African safari. Moments later, the herd notices them, which makes one of the elephants approach as they try to back away slowly.
No, 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 no!
Some of the hunters immediately try to scare the animal by firing shots all around, while the cameraman starts running for dear life. Sadly, the video comes to an end rather abruptly, so what happens next appears to be unknown. While hunting somewhere in the United States, a man encountered a sneaky mountain lion that unfortunately seemed to be on a hunt as well. At the start of the video, we see the cameraman locking eyes with a huge cougar, and for a time the animal remains still. When the predator starts to move, the man behind the camera moves with it, and this continues for a few seconds. Noticing that the mountain lion is coming a little too close for comfort, the hunter takes to his heels, making sure to stay out of the predator's way. Seemingly growing tired of the stare down, the huge predator heads back into the bushes, leaving the courageous hunter unharmed. In the beginning of this horror-striking encounter, a man can be seen recording a large moose minding its own business, feeding on the vegetation nearby. As the moose raises its head, it notices the human recording it and, unfortunately, doesn't like being filmed too much. What we see next is the camera spinning wildly while the man gets presumably charged and thrashed around by the huge herbivore. These animals are naturally very jumpy and reactive by nature, which helps it survive in the wild by avoiding predators. Thankfully, though, according to the video description, the man is safe. The beginning of this next unexpected encounter starts with two hunters recording a few elk they are planning to hunt. They try to lure their prey closer by using an instrument to mimic elk sounds while they slowly set up. A few minutes into the hunt, the animals bolt off unexpectedly, which confuses the hunters and makes them investigate further. While walking toward where the elks were previously standing, they are suddenly stopped by something truly unexpected. For the next few minutes, the pack of wolves appear to be stalking the hunters as they begin spreading out, roaming the premises. After a while, the predators seem to retreat from the area, and the men go on with their hunt as planned. The clip shows a dog spotting a large grizzly bear and runs straight at the predator without any hesitation. The bear tries its best to scare the dog and retreat, but the dog is relentless and unfazed by the bear's size and threats. When trained properly, dogs can be good bear alerts, as medium-sized dogs are agile and good at dodging bear attacks. Unfortunately, the clip ends without explaining what happens after the encounter. Filmed in Iowa, this extremely unsettling interaction starts on a high note with a large buck approaching two hunters quite aggressively.
Hang on, let me get behind you.
You get the out of the way.
Despite the rather low risk of attack, the men decide not to take chances and ready their rifles as the large herbivore hangs around.
Let me get the shot. Stay back.
I don't like this.
Stay back. Hey. Think about this, buddy.
At some point, the animal seemingly gets intrigued by the decoy previously set up by the hunters, which leads to this confrontation. They eventually let the deer walk away, avoiding a dangerous fight. Filmed in Montana, this hunter is suddenly thrown into a close encounter with a mountain lion, which are known to stalk their prey for miles on end.
Get out of here! Get!
He proceeds to pull his gun out, and inevitably shakes the camera, which makes us lose sight of the predator and the distance in between them. After he pulls out his gun, he aims it at the animal, and what happens next is something you should see for yourself. Fortunately for him, the predator spares him, and he thankfully doesn't have to use lethal force. During a spring bear hunt, two close friends had a horrifying encounter that left them utterly paralyzed in fear for minutes on end. While walking along a trail in the woods, one of the men glances into the bushes and catches sight of a large cougar. Immediately, he pulls out his camera and starts recording.
I got it right on camera. Oh, they're starting to move. Holy
How big is it?
I don't know for sure, but...
Quietly, the men continue to shadow and film the predator as it goes about its activities, seemingly oblivious to their presence. A few moments later, the mountain lion wanders deeper into the forest, leaving the two hunters to finally sigh in relief. The next terrifying video shows a man recording his point of view during his turkey hunting expedition. Seconds later, he looks to his right, trying to scout for prey, and is surprised to see something creeping up towards him from the tree line. Remaining as still as possible and hoping for the best, the hunter gets the scare of his life after the stalker decides to do this.
Get out of here. Get.
The bobcat runs away a few meters, but he remains focused on it, ready to defend himself at any moment. Fortunately, the predator disappears, and he gets to hunt another day. Captured on thermal video, this clip begins by showing us a group of hunters trying to drive away a group of invasive animals. At one point, though, they spot a herd of wild boars approaching and try to drive them away also, but not without a fight.
Uh-oh, one's running right at us.
Wild boars are hard and tough animals, capable of charging toward any threat at exceptional speeds. It's not totally clear what happened to the boar. However, the hunters managed to make it out safely. This encounter begins with a group of hunters walking around in bushy terrain hoping to find something to catch or shoot. After a few minutes of walking around aimlessly and searching for their next game, they unexpectedly encounter a giant elephant silently grazing. They decide to approach it slowly and eventually get too close for comfort, annoying and angering the otherwise gentle giant. As soon as the animal senses danger, it snaps and does something that will surely give you chills rushing down your spine. The animal remains cautious and runs away after the bluff charge, which gives the hunters the chance to record and admire its grandeur. They consider themselves lucky and decide not to push it further. This short yet terrifying video captures a man recording a black bear climbing down a tree after seeing him. Despite the predator reaching the bottom in a flash, he stands his ground, which makes the bear do this.
No. You better get.
The predator stops in its tracks after he fires a warning shot. Luckily, the clip ends as the animal is seen running off. A hunter can be seen laying down on the ground and stalking a young black bear in the beginning of this terrifying encounter. He readies his gun and points it at the animal as it slowly approaches him. At first, it walks past him, but being the adolescent, curious bear it is, it checks him out one last time. Due to the commendable calmness and the experience of the hunter, they both leave safely. In Kruger National Park, 5 hunters got the greatest scare of their lives when they encountered an aggressive lion. In the beginning, the 5 men are seen bushwalking with rifles in hand, but a little while later, things take a shocking turn. Together, the hunters try to scare off the lion by shouting and making loud noises. For a moment, it seems to work, but this is also where the video ends, and the outcome remains a mystery. In Arizona, what was supposed to be a normal hunting expedition with some dogs turned out to be something much more horrifying. Curtis from the eHunter YouTube channel and his friends decided that it was the perfect day to take out the horses and go on a nice hunt. Everything seemed to be going as planned, up until the dogs spotted something and chased it all the way to the edge of a steep cliff. The hunters quickly get around to taking a look at the animal for themselves and realize that it's actually a very fierce mountain lion. Unfortunately for the animal, though, it appears to be stuck in a crevice with absolutely nowhere to go. For multiple minutes, the cougar just sits there, all while letting out a few terrifying hisses at the dogs that keep harassing it with loud and constant barking. Perhaps it's also a way for it to show off its sharp and lethal teeth. Eventually, the wise predator finds a way to squeeze through an opening and immediately runs up a nearby mountain to disappear back into the desert.